Hey, are you wondering how well you're doing with your bookkeeping and knowing your numbers? Maybe you're at a total loss of where to begin. Maybe you're not sure how well you're actually doing and you just need to know the next steps to take. During a bookkeeping strength assessment, I work with business owners one-on-one for about 30 minutes and identify what their next step needs to be. I'll lead the conversation by asking some open-ended questions and then ask 10 laser-focused questions so I can pinpoint exactly what you should be doing next and how strong you are with your bookkeeping and knowing your numbers. Business owners find this to be the boost of confidence that they need to tackle their bookkeeping head-on. To get on my calendar for a free session, you can email me at lydia@dacbalance.com or message me on Instagram at lydia.miller.mba. Now on with the show. Hey there, my name is Lydia Miller, and I want you to be successful with your numbers no matter what stage of business you're in. This podcast will help you do just that. Learn about doing your bookkeeping yourself, outsourcing your bookkeeping successfully to a professional, and understanding your numbers and the story they're telling. We can avoid the overwhelm and continue creating a business we love to run. Welcome back to the podcast. We are in the middle of our series on profit. And last week I talked about what is profit and how you can know if you are profitable. And this week we are looking at how you can become more profitable in your business. The first most basic way to increase your revenue and decrease your expenses. And that will give you more profit if you have more revenue than expenses. Pretty basic. So you can do that by looking at your sales strategy and narrowing it down to the efforts that work really, really effectively. You can increase your prices, you can do more work, you can create new streams of revenue, you can add on new services that complement what you're doing and bring high value to your customers while not costing you much more time or resources. So to decrease your expenses, you can look through your bank statement and see what you're spending money on and ask yourself, is that necessary for my business to run, even if it's something small? So I had a $10 a month magazine subscription that I canceled, not because it was expensive, because it wasn't, but because I wasn't using the resource and I had no intention of doing it now. So more profit right there. Is there a free version of the program that you're paying for that does the same job? Or where can you cut back on expenses to make more room for profit in your business? So that's the basics of how to become more profitable. Increase your revenue, decrease your expenses. You want to also decide how much profit you want to be making in your business to give yourself a benchmark of what to aim for. This can be a percentage or an actual number. So let's say you want to take home $1,000 a month to your family. Well, you need to start at $1,000 and add in all of the expenses of your business to get a total revenue number that you need to aim for. So if it costs you $400 a month to run your business, you need to be bringing in at least $1,400 a month to pay your expenses and pay yourself. And that is if you're not investing in your business and it's really, really tight. So you need to know those numbers so that you know what you should be aiming for each month. The wonderful thing about owning your own business is that you get to decide just how much you want to bring home and how much profit you want and so on. You can do the same thing with percentages. So if you take home 50% of every dollar of revenue that you have, then you have to make sure that you are making enough to cover your expenses. So if your cost of running your business is $400 a month and you have to make at least $800 a month to bring home 50% of that and still have money to pay for the operations of your business. So either way, you can decide how you want to plan. Now, I know that I just talked about paying yourself as profit, and that's not true profit. And I know that if you're just starting out and that's how you view profit, then that is okay. I'd like for you to get to a place where you can view profit as just true profit, money that you retain in your business beyond what it costs to operate the business and pay yourself. So how can you plan for profit? Planning for profit is a vital step in being intentional about actually being profitable. Budgeting and setting up a separate bank account are the two best ways that you can do this. as far as planning for your profit. So for budgeting, you'll want to do this in either Excel or in your accounting program. I prefer to set up a budget in Excel because it's easier to modify than in QuickBooks, which is what I use for my bookkeeping. You'll want to include the final version of your budget in QuickBooks. But as far as like when you're creating it, definitely create it in Excel because it's a lot easier to move numbers around. So to create a basic business budget, you'll have 2 columns to start, one on the right and one on the left. And on the left, start by listing out all of the ways you make money in your business, one by one going down. So for me, I would put clients and then strategy sessions and then so on down the list. And once you have all of your revenue listed, you can skip 2 lines and then list out all of the things that you spend money on in your business. And I want you to be as detailed as you want to be and as possible. So I would list things like bank fees, Adobe subscription, Libsyn podcast subscription, parking fees, and so on all the way down. Okay, so then in the right-hand column, you start to put in your numbers. Remember, this is all looking to the future. And also, I would start by doing this on a monthly basis because all you have to do is multiply that number by 12, and then you get your annual budget. So first, you want to fill in the revenue, figure out how much you make per month in each revenue stream or what your goal is to make in each category, and fill that in all the way down through your income and through your expenses. And then at the end, you can total up your revenue at the top and you total up your expenses at the bottom and you subtract the revenue from the expenses. And that tells you if you are planning for profit or not. So if you have a negative number, you know that you have to make decisions now on how to cut back on expenses or how to increase your sales efforts to raise your revenue. And this is all looking into the future. So if you do your business budget for, December and you realize, with the way that my revenue is looking and my expenses are, I am not going to be profitable, then that's when you can look at your strategy and you can figure out how can I bring in more revenue and how much more revenue do I need to bring in and why am I spending so much and how can I cut those subscriptions before they run next month so that I have more profit in my business. The important part is at the end of each month is that you look and see what you actually brought in and actually spent to see how close you were to your budget and how you can improve for the next month. And this process will take a few months to get used to. And there are ways that you can do that in QuickBooks. It's too much to explain on a podcast episode. I would love to do a session with you for us to look at that and figure it out and make sure that all the back-end stuff is set up for you to do this, effortlessly. So send me an email if you want to do that. But that's, a lot of, way too much to explain. But one thing that might be helpful if you're struggling with Excel is to use an app like EveryDollar. If my bank connected, I would totally do this because it's pretty simple. It's a budgeting app that I do use for my personal finances, but if you can use it for your business, then no problem. Just add in your categories, see how much you want to make and spend, and then you track your transactions right in the app. And I think for $100 a year, you can connect it to your business bank account and they will drop in the transactions for you. So all you have to do is drag and drop the transactions and you're tracking your budget and you're seeing how well you're doing and you have real-time updates about how much you're spending and how much more money you're supposed to be bringing in, which is fantastic as far as business budgeting goes. Side note, as much as I love that app, that does not replace your bookkeeping each month. You still have to actually do your bookkeeping in a true bookkeeping system because EveryDollar doesn't give you reports that you'll need at the end of the year. Just FYI. So are you struggling with budgeting your profit? And are you still trying to figure out how to set up those reports to help you along the way? Well, I would love to help you create that system and know what to do each month to stay consistently profitable. And I would be honored to work with you. To get started, you can email me at lydia@dacbalance.com with the problem that you're having, and we can discuss the best way to get to a solution in a bookkeeping strength assessment call. If you are ready to use your numbers to help your business, please subscribe so you'll be notified when the next episode drops. And I would love to connect with you. You can find me on Instagram at lydia.miller.mba and always by email lydia@dacbalance.com. So until next time, go and make it happen.